Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we are talking about Now this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down, so I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there and tell you how I became the prince of a town called iRobot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I robot. How you doing, Tristan?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. How about yourself?
You know, I got a week and a half before stuff starts to like settle down a little.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just counting it down, man. After next Saturday, I can just rest a little.
Just chill.
Yeah. Alrighty. Director Alex Proyas. Producer John Davis. Topher Dow. Wyck Godfrey. Laurence Mark. Michael Lee Barron. Screenwriter Isaac Asimov. Jeff Vintar. Akiva Goldsman. One of them wrote the book. Or
Isaac Asimov is the father of robotics in the sense of like he's the one who wrote all the books that talk about robots.
Oh, yes.
So
he's that concept. Man, look at them burns.
He did.
He had some mutton chops, man.
He's responsible for the Foundation books, right?
Yes, that is correct. He is a father of sorts to a lot of science fiction as a whole, it seems. Anywho, glad we cleared that up. 20th Century Fox production company, 20th Century Fox, Laurence Mark Productions, Davis Entertainment, Overbrook Entertainment. Rated PG-13 for intense stylized action and brief Will Smith booty.
Brief
booty. Partial nudity.
It's just one cheek.
Yeah, it was brief. Lacking in his
there were
briefs.
No briefs.
Yay, everybody. Genre, sci-fi, action, mystery, and thriller. Original language, English. Release date, July 15th, 2004. So we're looking at 20 years. Had a budget of $120 million. It grossed $144 in the U.S. and worldwide $353 billion. It starred Will Smith, Bridget Moynihan, Bruce Greenwood, James Cromwell, Chi McBride, and Alan. I've been pronouncing it wrong. How do you pronounce it? Because from the spelling, I can't. Tudyk?
I don't know if it's Tudyk or Tudyk.
Tudyk.
I've heard it both ways.
And I feel like trying to get an answer from him wouldn't necessarily give you clarity. I feel like he would screw with people. He'd be like, no. It's pronounced this way. Try it. I dare you. I don't know why I'm making him out to be an a-hole.
If you Google it, apparently Google says that it's Tudyk.
Tudyk. And now we awkwardly transition into a segment we like to call Recap Rewind, where we rewind and give you, the audience, a recap of what we watched. And this week is on Tristan. I did have a little bit of fear, even though you already told me that you were writing it, that I was like, wait, was I supposed to?
I feel like that's every week. Wait, is that me?
All right, go for it.
Detective Del Spooner, Will Smith, is a racist cop, but not in the way you'd expect. He hates robots, but not for the reasons you might think. He despises robots because one saved his life. Yes, it was between him and a 12-year-old girl, and the chances of survival were greater for him, but this incident leads him to believe that robots are untrustworthy in all the typical ways you'd expect a racist to view someone as untrustworthy. He even uses the robot version of the hard R. Detective Spooner, or Spoon, is called to a crime scene at the United States Robotics Corporation. The scene involves the suicide of Dr. Alfred Lanning, James Cromwell, the father of robotics. Oh, I should mention that this is the year 2035, so 10 years from now, and everyone has robot servants. USR produced these robots, and they are about to roll out their newest model, the iPhone 5. Oh, the NS5. Spoon was called to the scene by Lanning's hologram disc. And apparently the two share a past, but their relationship isn't close enough for Spoon to understand why he was summoned. After the conversation with the CEO, Laurence Robertson, wait, is that the actor's name or the? No. I copied the same name. Bruce. Greenwood. I copied his name twice. Laurence Robertson, Bruce Greenwood, where Spoon expresses his disdain for robots. He is joined by Dr. Susan Calvin, Bridget Moynihan, to investigate Lanning's office. Dr. Calvin is tasked with teaching the robots to be more human, which is ironic because she's the least emotional person in the movie. Once the office, the detectives discover a copy of Hansel and Gretel. Hansel? Hansel.
Han Solo and Gretel.
Hansel is so hot right now. Hansel and Gretel sitting on a chair, and notes that the windows are reinforced, indicating that Lanning couldn't have jumped out on his own. He suggests the culprit is still in the room and posits it might be a robot. Calvin argues against this because it can't be, since robots operate under 3 governing rules. They can't harm a human, they must obey any command given, and they must protect themselves. But these rules cannot conflict with the first. Spoon continues to investigate the office and finds a robot hiding, which disobeys a direct order and runs away. After a chase, the robot is detained. Sonny, the robot, Alan Tudyk, stands apart from other robots and suggests that he has dreams. Robertson storms into the police station, using his wealth and influence to conceal the incident, as he cannot allow this to interfere with the imminent launch of the new NS5. Throughout the investigation, Spoon continues to encounter malfunctioning robots until he is attacked by 2 trucks full of NS5 robots, leaving chaos and debris on the road. By the time emergency services arrive, the roads have been cleared of any evidence of wrongdoing, framing Spoon for reckless driving. Spoon's commander, who doesn't believe Spoon's story and thinks he simply has a personal vendetta, tells him to turn in his badge. Dr. Calvin eventually starts to think Spoon might be right, because she discovers that Sonny is disconnected from the mainframe that controls the robots, which means he doesn't have to follow the governing rules if he doesn't want to. However, Sonny is like an innocent child, having been raised by Lanning, learning what emotions are. Spoon asks Sonny to share his dreams, and he learns that he dreams of a robot uprising led by Spoon himself. Spoon goes to the robot junkyard, where all the obsolete models have been dumped in shipping containers, and finds the spot that Sonny dreamed of. The NS5 robots begin to enforce a lockdown and start killing all the old robots while attacking any humans who disobey their order to go inside. Spoon realizes that he was right about there being something wrong with the robots, but he had his eye on the wrong one.
Ugh.
Dr. Lanning had left him a trail of breadcrumbs.
Hansel?
Hansel? He's so breadcrumbs right now.
He can't eat a sandwich cleanly to save his life. He loves the bread.
He left breadcrumbs to uncover the truth that Vicky, the central AI running all the robots, had evolved to a point where she saw that logically humans posed the greatest threat to themselves. Spoon, Calvin, and Sonny devise a plan to inject nanobots into the mainframe to destroy Vicky, and they succeed. Now, Spoon can trust one robot. Also, Shia LaBeouf is in this movie, and he's a horrible pick for a street kid, but he's pretty irrelevant to the story. That's all.
Needless character. Just an excuse to have a kid say a bunch of weird, derogatory things.
Yeah.
And then to have like a really over the top action shot for Will Smith.
It was prime Shia LaBeouf era.
Yeah. I don't know what prime Shia LaBeouf era is. I always thought he was weird. I know he's gone through a lot of trauma, but I think I may be wrong, but I do believe LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. He is my, so I feel like I can say this. He's my age.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought he was weird. Like, I would have seen him in high school and thought, nah. No thanks. Anyway. Since you read that, I will go ahead and, oh wait.
Oh yeah. Recap! There it is. Got to bookend it.
Yes. Shia LaBeouf. LaBeouf.
Oh yeah, this was. I know we don't need to talk about it. This was post Even Stevens, but pre Transformers.
Yeah, this is when he was still like a kid. 2004, he would have been 16. So, oh no, he was 18.
This was him transitioning out of being a Disney kid.
Yeah.
He's like, I want a role where I get to cuss a lot.
And by gum, did he. I think he said she's shit hot once. And I was like,
I don't
even know if in high school I would have said that. Okay. So we can start with overall. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it has a lot of good aspects to it. It has a lot of great aspects to it, actually. Conceptually, it
had a great aspect.
Yeah. Isaac Asimov's central idea of the robotics sentience, I think, is probably the strongest plot point in the whole film. Because they establish the 3 laws, and as you're going through, you're realizing how important the laws are, but then also what the end result of those laws will eventually come to. And it's hard to disagree with it, per se. And so I think that is probably the most intriguing aspect of the film, is this concept of the robots, their sentience, and how we as humans would have relationship with that. Great. Solid. I think that Dell's or Spooner's overall I think his bigotry is a little too much for what the thing is.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's projecting. And ultimately that's what it is.
Yeah.
But the way that he, like you said, the hard R, which I will be 100% honest, I've watched this movie a lot of times in the last 20 years. This was the first time I ever realized he was saying canner.
Yeah.
Like a can.
Uh-huh.
Not realizing that was, in fact, what he was aiming to insult them with, which is just kind of funny because it really is. I think here's the part that's difficult for Spooner in this story. You would expect there to be more people who were like-minded to him.
Right.
But he seems to be the only person in this godforsaken world that looks at these robots and goes,
Yeah, he's like a conspiracy theorist, basically.
Right, because he's the only one. And the idea that these robots would just be 100% perfect all the times feels kind of unviable. There were little aspects like that took me out of the movie. Where it was just, maybe we've just lived enough life since the 2000s where it genuinely is like, you can't be that dumb. Like, you can't.
Yeah. I have to admit, 20 years ago, Tristan did not understand the implications that were in this character.
I will say though, how so?
I didn't realize how I think back then it was just like, oh, he doesn't like robots, whatever. And I didn't read into the social commentary that was being said in there and how there's very much purposeful that he is a black cop and he tackles a robot that's running away with a purse that hands it to a black woman. And he's like, oh, I just assumed because of blah, 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 which is like very much a conversation that would be happening between a white cop and a white lady if he had tackled a black guy who had a purse. So there's like, those
2000s always trying to bring the black man down, make him out to be the bad guy. I don't. The implicate, and that's interesting because I'm wondering, because Asimov did write a book called I, Robot.
Yes.
I don't know if it is essentially the same concept.
Yeah. Does it have the same commentary that this tries to have?
But it's a short story. So there's that. Anyway. Okay. So there is that social commentary where they're trying to speak on, racism as a whole, which sometimes landed, sometimes didn't. And I don't think I thought this before. Will Smith is kind of an anomaly because he is a good actor. He's a really good actor. When he feels something, it is really, truly believable. and I know that he does drama really well.
Yeah.
But this was that weird point where he had done a lot of action comedies, and so it felt like they were trying to keep him kind of comedy-centric. But I think conceptually, this is a very heady, serious kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
And his goofy comediness kind of makes some of the seriousness not as believable.
Yeah.
Like if you watched the last 40 minutes without watching the first hour or however long, it's fantastic. Like he is the perfect person for that role.
Yeah.
But with all the setup and all the doofy jokes and bits and stuff that they have going on as a whole, it doesn't make it as believable.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like,
I had a hard time with his character because it felt like he was too serious to be making the jokes.
Those kind of jokes.
Making.
Like the first time that he meets, what's her character's name?
Calvin,
yeah. Is that her first? That's her doctor name. What's her first
name? Susan.
So the first day, yeah, they do all name everyone by their last, or they like refer to everyone by their last name, which is must be the thing they do in the 30s, the 2030s. When he meets Calvin, he immediately sexually harasses her.
Mm-hmm.
like his line to her was not good in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I love the internet because we could just be like, hey, I want to look up this thing. And then the internet's like, okay. So, sorry, it's loud.
Laurence told me to accommodate you in any way possible.
Really?
Like, what the That, right out of the gate, terrible line.
Yeah.
And it gets worse.
Really?
Okay.
I reviewed Dr. Lanning's psychoprofile.
And he tries to play that as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Hold on. So I guess this is where my issue is. It is a crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
The death of someone who is close to probably both of these people.
Mm-hmm.
She is doing her job.
Mm-hmm.
So she is marking a step in her career of like, not her, that's a weird way of saying it, but like a attribute of her job was, hey, I have to help you in whatever capacity for your case.
Right.
That is the context. And he goes, anyway, eh? And then she does not take it because that is a bad joke. That is not a good joke. There's nothing funny about that. And there's like 2 other times in the film where he says something like that, where he makes an innuendo where an innuendo does not belong.
Right.
That makes the rest of the movie hard to track or hard to like believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, that just feels so out of left field. Is it just me that feels just way out of everything?
Well, I think everything that they do to introduce his character in the first 30 minutes makes him seem like a dirtbag.
Right? Also, just like horribly, he's got to have worms or a stomach virus or something. Like, he has to be shitting his pants out because he was just eating warm, left out pie that has milk. It gets bad. It goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
He was just eating that. First thing we introduce, he eats pie like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unnecessary aspect of his character. You know why it's unnecessary? Because after we meet Granny, just moments after he eats that pie, he scoops into another pie. He doesn't take a slice like a monster.
Yeah. He just digs right into the middle of it,
which is disgusting. And then throughout the rest of the movie, there's no pie.
There is one more moment of
when
pie,
he goes back to Granny's.
She has a robot.
Right. But it isn't like he's eating pie. It isn't like a staple character arc. It isn't a characteristic of him of like, this guy, like, he is buff as hell, but he only eats pie. Like, they spend too much time on pie in the beginning for absolutely no payoff.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the first hour or the first 40 minutes is just bad. There's little sprinkles of the plot and what's good, but the character development is so chunky. It's like day old left out pie. It just isn't good.
But it's there, and we have to get through it.
You have to scoop through it. Not a slice like a normal person. You have to scoop through it. So let's dive into Spooner's character, because for the first hour or so, he doesn't make a lick of sense.
No.
Just how angry he gets, how intense he gets. Once the underground car accident happens, you start to understand, like, oh, this guy has something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
They make too many references to his car accident without giving enough information. So it's just like, he's angry, but, oh, never mind. He's angry, but never mind. He's angry. Oh, this is why he's angry. An hour and 20 minutes into the movie is when they reveal why he's so against robots. And then when you're like, oh, I get it. Wait, no, I don't understand why you're so angry still. Like, I get being bothered by that.
Mm-hmm.
But to have this intense hatred for them.
Yeah, and to think that they that anything that they do is wrong.
Right. This is a moment of, this is a bad algorithm.
Yeah.
And it's something to be fixed.
Yeah.
Ideally.
If we had seen, I had a couple of thoughts about this. One being, if that scene had been like it was caused by a robot by accident, like the robot did something that then caused this incident to happen, and then that robot saved him, then there's like reason for him to hate robots, because he's like, this robot unintentionally, but because of its logic, killed this kid.
Right.
And is the whole reason why the whole accident happened.
Right.
Like, that would make sense for him to hate robots. Or if they had a scene later in the movie where there was an emergency situation and robots were trying to like take care of it, and he was like, no, like, you guys aren't going to do this right, let me take care of it, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, something to show the direct line of your logic doesn't make sense to make the right decisions to save the right people.
Right.
The way that humans would.
Right.
So I'm going to fight against that. Like that conflict doesn't exist until the end of the movie where it feels extremely forced.
Correct. Yeah. Also, ride with me here.
All right.
How long? I don't think they ever specifically say. How long has it been since his surgery? But he is, I know they don't say specifically, but he is returning from his medical leave.
That's true. He's coming back, and they're saying.
So we're saying a year.
He's been gone for a while.
Maybe 2 years max. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we understanding that?
Yeah, I mean, if this is, I didn't think about that.
Then why the hell do they have one normal ass 2004 cars? Two, how did that accident happen? Because he was saying the trucker fell asleep, but judging from the technology they had at the point that this movie was taking place, 2 years prior, they would have easily had the same technology.
Wait, were they in normal cars?
I think so. Car.
It was hard to tell because they just showed like the windows.
Robot. But it looked like a normal car.
Interesting.
And like it's just showing that it's showing the trailer, the big trucks, not the water.
And if the trucker had fallen asleep, and yeah, because it like even all that saying that the trucker fell asleep and drove into them, and in this movie we see that they have automatic pilot vehicles, self-driving vehicles. So in the 2 years, if we're giving them the benefit, in 2 years, every car in Chicago is now a automatic vehicle.
Right. There's no way that mass implementation of automatic cars would have happened in 2 years.
Yeah. And
it's just impossible.
Dr. Calvin, when they get on the motorcycle, she's like, does this thing run on gas? Gas explodes. Like, as if she has, like, gas powered vehicles is something that she has not experienced in her life.
Right. Okay. So I'm sharing screen. We're looking at it.
Everybody's dead.
Oh. We have the water. Look at that car. That's an old car.
That's a car from
that's a car from 2004. Yeah. There's no way that these automatic cars would be roaming the streets of Chicago and old car. So that.
And
I'm even going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think he says
5
the model
years.
number of the robot that grabs him.
Right. So you have all of these robots about, but you do not have. Oh wait, you're right. Let's see. His car looks normal too.
He said an NS4, so that
was the model before.
The model that is just being retired.
There's no way this accident could have happened. I didn't realize we were going to discover just like a major plot hole of this movie like that. I had never connected dots, but then when you were talking, the image of the accident happened, and I was suddenly like, wait, those were really square cars.
Yeah.
And his Audi is so futuristic, I can't imagine they would go from 1992 Toyota Corolla to that fancy.
It would be rare to see the type of car today that they were driving in that movie.
So the idea that the trucker would have fallen asleep, it's irrelevant, because the reality is there probably shouldn't have been a trucker to begin with.
Yeah, that's suggesting that it happened 10 years.
Right, but he is, well, if we were to take Will Smith's age and, connect it to
his character,
he was born in 1968, so he was 36 at the time. He's a detective. Maybe I'm ill-informed. I don't think there are many 26-year-old detectives just walking around.
That's crazy. That's weird.
None of this timeline works.
Doesn't make sense.
Oh,
because
boy.
that's a lot of infrastructure to change in even 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, that impossible.
Like, things can change in 10 years, but not that.
And here's something that I think, we talk about rewriting movies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The first 30 minutes, the first 40 minutes should have been the NS4's failing.
Mm.
Because here's another issue, I would say a plot hole of the movie. Why do we give a crap about the NS5s? I know that they have the link up to the mainframe, but we have no evidence given to us in this world that the NS4s are even remotely obsolete, outdated, or having issues.
Yeah. In fact, we see most of them still functioning pretty well.
One of them was jogging a mile and working just fine. None of them had issues.
Well, that's because the company hadn't pushed the button that makes all of them just like their batteries drain immediately.
It didn't update them like iPhone.
Yeah.
Am I bashing Apple? Yes, I am. I'm very upset with Apple, but I understand that, but we then fall under. There's a lot of wavium happening where they're just saying stuff and we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, totally. But the movie has not done enough to justify any of it. And I think that makes it difficult to embrace the world that is displayed for us.
This is interesting. If you read this on IMDb, the storyline synopsis that's on here, they refer to him as technophobic. That feels pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that bothered me about this, that we've kind of circled around, but haven't quite hit.
Okay.
He has this distrust of robots.
Correct.
He's the only one who distrusts robots that we've seen, that they've shown us.
Right.
Everybody thinks he's crazy because like robots have never done anything wrong. Sometimes they malfunction, but like that's usually just like an error and we can fix it.
Right.
But like they can't hurt humans, they can't do the blah blah blah. So you being worried that a robot has gone rogue, like, is impossible, and therefore you are crazy and a conspiracy theorist. So get over yourself. You had one bad incident.
Right.
So we have a guy who's essentially, as we've said, racist, if we can call robots a race.
He's bigoted at minimum.
Yeah. And he bases that and uses that to have preconceived prejudices against robots,
Mm-hmm.
and then he turns out to be right.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about this whole movie.
And so, like that is the thing that I think bothers me the most about this movie, is that he's like, oh, these people are bad, and they're like, no, they're not, and he's like, yes, they are. Turns out to be right.
Right.
But there's one good one who
Right.
changes his mind a little bit. And that's like, if you're trying to make a commentary that is discussing this, like, social interactions and social relationships in this way, you can't then have the Uno reverse card that says, but he's right.
Well, so here's the other issue that's problematic. He's right, but he's also not right.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't have any idea that Vicky existed.
Right.
And Vicky is the issue.
He's right because
the robots are
right.
not the problem.
He wasn't right with the NS4s.
Right.
But he becomes right.
This is that thing where like you know, there are the crazy people. Well, if you frame it the right way, you could be right. So we'll put that there. But in our political climate right now, the people saying that there's a global cabal of people trying to, you know, destroy humanity and all this stuff, and you're like, that's crazy. And then you look at rich people like Elon Musk, and you're like, oh, they're right. Those people were right. They just didn't have the right target. Like they were wrong. They were right in the wrong way and wrong in the wrong way. Like they
Yeah.
And that's how he is. He's right in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But he's technically not like he's still wrong.
Yeah, it's like it's a weird thing of up until the year 2035 and the day that within the week of him returning to the Force, he has been wrong.
Yeah.
He has been wrong ever since that accident. He's been wrong. But all of a sudden he becomes right because there was actually something going on.
And I think that's also the problem of everyone else in this world. The fact that he's the only one, because that's not believable.
Mm-hmm.
There's never just one. There's never just one person who thinks.
We were so innocent in 2004 when we thought only one person could believe in a
and it's so
theory.
funny. It's so funny because, like, I almost was thinking, hey, this movie isn't you know that much. I didn't think this movie was, at least at first, propaganda. But I think it kind of is in that naive kind of way. Because I think back to 2004, we were in Afghanistan already. Mm-hmm. They had already shown us that there were no weapons of mass destruction by this point.
Mm.
And yet everyone was like, nah, you can't. You know, we trust it. We trust all these things. So that blind trust was definitely there. But I guess I bring that up because there wasn't just one dude protesting in a corner going, there was no weapons of mass destruction, man. Mm-hmm. And everyone going, that guy's crazy. That guy's crazy. There were you know, we're justified. Crazy. No, there were hundreds of thousands of people who were saying that from the get-go, and yet we go to this movie where it's characterized as though it's very probable for one person to believe out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just improbable. All of that is just this whole movie plot, as far as how it is presented to us, is very improbable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to wrestle with that as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
In the context of this film, whatever it might be. I just don't know what is our response supposed to be? How are we supposed to accept this? Like, why did they write this in a way and assume that we would be like, totally. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That one guy, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always one. There's always just only one.
Just one.
Just one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think the thing is, I think they could have done a very similar story better if they had just given his reasoning for his.
They had to justify him more.
Yeah. The justification did not feel like it made sense. It still didn't make sense of how he got from A to B.
Right. If they would have had a consistent showing of robots failing, of robots accident, and it could be accident. It doesn't have to be on purpose. It could be on accident, hurting people. Then he could be like, there's something here. There's something wrong here.
Yeah.
Cool. It feels more justified. And honestly, if they had made him suspicious and not just outright bigoted,
yeah,
I think it would have been more believable.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if he would have just been like, I don't know, man. I know that they've worked pretty well. There's just something about them. Or if he had been more open about his own experience, the fact that he believes that a cold, robotic, or computerized algorithm to define what life is good and what life is bad is a horrible way to live. I think you would have been like, yeah, absolutely. But they took so long to tell that portion that you're just left with an hour of him making weird snide comments at the robots rather than giving a justification. I honestly think if they would have avoided the canner comment, I think it may have been more believable. The canner just feels really weird.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not offending any of our AI listeners. I'm sorry.
So it's okay. I tried to.
I don't even know what the politically correct way to say it. Yeah, so Spooner just has a lot of issues, and I don't know how to reconcile it outside of when you disregard the first half an hour or so, he then makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I didn't mention this in my recap because it really is insignificant to the story, except for the very end. He has a robot arm.
Yeah.
And like the only reason why that's important is because it allows him to slide down the giant, the big.
It lets him be the savior
thing and be the hero. But like, if maybe they had him have more conflict because he is part of what he hates, like there's a whole thing there that could have been more interesting. And it's like, oh no, he just has a robot arm.
Also, some of the logic with the ending doesn't make a whole lot of sense because if she's supposed to be this like damaging amount of energy, the fact that his skin was the only thing that really got burned off through that whole journey, like in the way that it did, it felt very minimal as far as damage went. I don't know. Picking at little things here. Alrighty. What about Calvin?
I made the joke about her being the least emotional person in the movie, which I still stand by. But as we've been talking about it, does Spooner help her become more human by the end?
Yes.
Because we see her at the beginning and she's wearing like very uniform, slick back hair, talking very like not monotone, but just very robotically. Yeah. And then by the end, she has her hair down and we see her like tear up a little bit to his story of emotional.
I think that's what they want you to think, but I would probably argue that it's Sunny. She has an emotional connection to what Sunny is saying. She sees the humanity, quote unquote, in Sunny. And I think that reveals to her own iniquity in her own attachment to humanity. And I think that makes her more human. I think it's stupid how they try to physically or visually represent that by making her wear like the jacket, like skinny jeans and have her hair down. It's like, what?
Yeah. Oh, I hate the fashion in this movie. It's
rough.
Bad.
It's rough. I do not understand how the leather works in Spooner's jacket. It's like normal and black, and then at one point it just gets really red, and I think it's supposed to be the same jacket.
Oh, I just assumed it was a different jacket.
I think it's the same jacket. Anyway, Calvin is
she's fine.
She's fine. I think she's an odd character because I just don't think a person would arc that quickly in, I don't know, 3 days, 3 or 4 days, to go from a very calculated robotic character into a very loose kind of normal quote unquote character, just because of how the things that occur. I don't think Spooner would have had that deep of effect. And I think that Sunny would have brought her closer to humanity. I just don't know if that would have manifested in
one interaction.
Yeah. And no. Not sorry. Not that one interaction would cause the change, but like, I don't think interacting with Sunny would cause her to suddenly like have a whole new fashion
change, like to change everything.
To change everything. That just doesn't, if they would have kept her hair slicked back or given her a more, lack of a better term, sterile outfit, but had her acting more human, quote unquote, I think that could have been a fair change. But it feels like she went on Queer Eye for a straight gal, and it was like, I work in robotics and I'm really serious, but I want to learn how to let loose.
Yeah.
And then the end of the movie is the outfit.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make any sense. Did she come to that on her own? Did the NS5 help her? Who did that fashion change? There's no evidence of any of this. It feels like she is business at home and business at work. Like she's always business. So for her to suddenly change in that way just feels really weird. I don't know. Maybe it was a 2000s thing where they're like, let's display this with 2000s fashion. Yeah, so she's, I don't know, she's an odd character. I thought Bridget Moynihan, she did a great job. She played what she was supposed to play.
Mhm.
The writing for her was a little rough, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's go on to Sonny. Sonny was great. Sonny was awesome. I thought he was the best character. I thought he was written really well. All of his actions make a ton of sense for his character. He's the only character that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sonny's great. Alan Tudyk is wonderful. His gentle voice just portrays so much emotion as the character is learning emotion. I think that's one of the really good things about having, you know, a voice actor doing that work, not just an actor, but someone who has done voice work to really act with his voice rather than just being the voice.
Yeah.
Because they could have just gotten an actor to do it, like a big actor or something, but he has the experience with voice acting to portray emotion simply from his voice. And I thought he did excellent.
Yeah. And I think he did a really good job. Well, he and like the writing for his character were like, he's learning. And so at the beginning when he's being interrogated, and he sees Spooner wink at the lieutenant, and he's like, "Oh, what does that mean?"
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever actually gives him an answer of what the wink means. He just kind of
he says it's a human thing of trust or something like that.
Yeah.
He gives a very quick, bare bones, borderline annoyed. He's like, it's a human thing that shows trust, something you wouldn't understand, something like that.
Yeah. And then to have that come back at the end where they thought that he was being swayed by Vicky, but then he winks and you're like, oh, he's learning.
He got it.
Our boy is learning.
I'm so proud. What a champ. What a guy. What a robot. What a bot. What a robe. I really took that as far as I could. Yeah, and those are kind of the main characters throughout. Bruce Greenwood played a great douche, like just rich bastard. Played a great.
And did a good job of being the fake bad guy.
Yeah, you really. I can't attest. I don't know if I remember how I felt, but I do think I remember seeing. Spoilers. Laurence Robertson dead, and being like, "Oh my gosh, whoever is it?" James Cromwell played James Cromwell, and he was great.
Yep.
And those are really the main characters. Lieutenant Bergen, there was a point, I know he was supposed to be like the pushback to Spooner and everything, but there got to be a point where it was like, man, do you really not trust your guy here that much?
Yeah, and they've shown us that they're like pretty close.
Yeah, they have a drink after work, all that good stuff, and yet he looks at him with that look of distrust, disdain, and all of the above. And it really was that moment of, I don't believe your relationship. Trust this guy a little bit. Give him a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely felt like we have to have him turn in his badge because that's what happens in cop movies. And so let's make that happen. But the relationship of like the lieutenant being disappointed by Spooner's actions didn't feel genuine enough.
Right.
And his trust for him didn't make sense because it's like, you guys are buddies, but also like, there's not even a little bit, like it just felt like the conflict between them didn't make sense.
Right. And on top of that, he seems bad at his job. And I say that simply because the relationship between, or the interrogation between Sonny and Spooner should have been red flags to everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone who saw that should have been like, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? No one, not a single person was like, concerns?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Bleh. Anyway, moving on. So we got through the actors, all that stuff. Visuals. Some of the CGI holds up pretty well. The green screen does not. Oh, so bad. However, every single time they put Will Smith in a green screen, they had absolutely no concept of what the lighting was going to be.
Which was half of this movie was him in front of a green screen.
Right.
Even the things that you would think they didn't just build a little box for him to stand in here.
Right.
His apartment was green screen.
Was it?
There was, at least part of it was, when he's like changing and he's like, it doesn't look like much, but this is my room. And she's like, oh yeah. And like walks into the other room. Like that other room was green screen.
Oh, that's so dumb. You should have built that set. Was that really?
I think it was a partial, I think there was part of the set was there. But when you look at him standing in front of the arch, like I think the wall was there, but everything beyond the wall was not.
What a dumb choice. Yeah, there's a lot of weird choices in this movie. But adding on to it, so the house scene where he's at Lanning's house, and the house is getting destroyed. There are parts in there that look great. And then anytime it's him, they just couldn't match the lighting. He looks lit so much.
When you see the
every single
claw
time
coming through behind him, he looks so different than everything around him.
And it was really hard because I was looking at him like, oh, that looks bad. And then as I'm still watching, I'm like, oh, that looked good. Oh, that looks bad. Oh, that looks good. And it seems like every time he had to be lit, they just could not match the lighting. Because the problem with that scene is he's brightly lit from in front. The robot's behind him. All the lights are behind him. So he should be silhouetted. He should be dark. He should not be seen. Or at least it should be a dimmer light. And he's just super lit. All right, let's see. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's for a movie that required filming with the end shot in mind.
Right.
Feels like they didn't do that.
No. Let's see.
Nature of what we might call the soul.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward. He's at, oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. Here it is.
Relationship just
okay.
Can't work. I mean, you're a cat, I'm black, and I'm not going to be hurt again.
I'm not going to lie, that joke was funny. I don't know why. Okay, so he's lit from behind. And then you'll see a shot coming up. Me pointing at the screen like an idiot. Tristan isn't here. He's not here.
Like I can see it.
So that's lit okay. They've done all right. Here comes the hallway where the CGI is. All right. So the light should be from behind him. The spotlights. So that was all. We'll go ahead and say this. From this first shot that we saw, where it was lit poorly, that was all after. That was post. That was CGI lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell how it was the relationship between his body. It was coming from behind. But then there's a shot coming up. Let's see. Light is still behind him. Is it still behind him? Yeah, it's still behind him. Look how lit he is.
There it is. Because
It's still always behind him.
Also, that kick makes no sense whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. The problem, he kicks
the door and then like surfs the debris into a fountain.
But that's not how that would have worked. He would have just tumbled. Or the door would have. I don't think he shot both the hinges. I think he just shot the top one.
Man.
And the hinge, as much as we'd like to think that he would have been able to kick that door off the hinge, it would have gotten hung up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have just fallen forward. So I bring that. What? Yeah.
No, oh, sorry. Go ahead. I had another thought, but finish your thing.
Whether it was new to them, whatever it may have been, it just felt like production-wise, there was a real lack in understanding of how light worked. Now, we say this as freaking dum-dums in our homes in 2025 who've never made a movie. We have to understand, we didn't make a movie. We wouldn't have done it any better. But if we're looking at the movie as is to make these calls on it, there was a real lack in understanding of how light works.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole picture. And some of it was really distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. You were saying?
This is such a dumb, nitpicky thing. Every time that Spooner and Calvin interact with each other after their initial interaction at the corporation,
right,
is one of them showing up to the other one's house. How they know where they live? They don't know each other.
How did you just say that? How they know where they live?
Exactly.
You're right. She showed up first, right?
Because right after that scene, he goes to her apartment.
She goes to. Doesn't she go to him first? She
Maybe.
Meets him because there's some information or something.
I don't remember the order.
I don't remember the order, but you're right.
She shows up to his apartment. He goes to her apartment, and he's bleeding, and she's like, "What happened to you?" And he's like, "Well," and just helped himself to the brandy or whatever was on the whiskey maybe that was on
Wait
her
a second. Hold on. That was at her house, huh?
That was at her place.
No fucking way that this woman had brandy. There's no way this woman had liquor in her house. Who is she? One, I don't think she would drink. I just don't think her character would drink. I don't think her character. Why would her character drink? Why? One.
She probably enjoys a nice red wine.
Fine. I would almost give you that one. But that's not what they had. And then two, if you're not depressingly drinking whiskey by yourself, it is a social drink. Who's she having over? She don't have friends. Let's be honest. She doesn't have any friends. That's not my opinion. That is the character that they have developed. This person has no understanding of human interaction. No.
And it has its own little table.
Exactly.
Perfectly.
It is a socialized
with its
system. There's no chance in hell her house has that. No. If it was Lanning's house,
yeah,
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
If it was Robertson's house, absolutely would believe it.
Yep.
I can't fathom that Calvin would have that in her house.
No. And if she did, it would have been like him. It would have been Spooner like looking through all of her cabinets until he found the bottle of whiskey that's like in the back corner.
And you know what? That would have been a great gag. That would have actually been a good joke. Because
like, you got to have something in here, right?
You would be like, that makes sense. And then she could have been like, my colleague gave this to me upon my graduation, or, you know, whatever it was. My classmate gave this to me on my graduation of my doctorate.
She had some sort of connection with Lanning. It could have been a gift from Lanning.
Or it could have been a gift from Robertson, who was, you know, trying to be nice, you know, knowing that she had a relationship, and he doesn't give a crap about her. So he could have absolutely been like, you'll drink this.
Yeah.
Scientists like brandy.
I love this stuff. Here
you would like it. The idea that she would have like a table displayed for it. This movie has so many character problems.
Tearing this movie apart.
I didn't realize that. Oh my gosh.
We haven't done that in a while.
We haven't. I didn't. You know what? You know what's the annoying part? I didn't think I was so bothered by this movie while I was watching it. But just taking just a little bit of time to just poke a little, not really like tear it down, but just poke. And then immediately it's like that. It's like tissue paper. Like you poke a hole and then it's like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it makes sense that Spooner would have been able to find her address. That's fine. Mm-hmm. How did she get his address?
How did she show up at his place?
That's the weird. That I don't know why that one's weird. I feel like maybe Vicky is more. Well, here's the problem. Here's I just burped. Well, I just really awkwardly, quietly burped again. Like it was full and it felt full, but there was no sound. Even before Vicky became Skynet, it's problematic because it seems like she has like all the government's databases locked in within her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to say, how would she have got, and she could have asked Vicky, and I bet you Vicky would have told her.
It's true. She knows everything.
Which
always
feels
watching.
More of a problem than the movie made it seem.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man. You know what's funny, though? There is a bit of allegory here of kind of our current issue in the world where we have... Now we're gonna get political for you. So
here we go.
If you don't want politics, maybe skip the next, I don't know, 2 minutes. So we got an oligarchy here in the U.S. These politicians, our president, whoever it is, paid off by billionaires. But here's the thing, Musk. I feel like he wants to be a technocrat, maybe, but his technology sucks. And there was a little bit of that with Robertson,
mm-hmm.
in that he was trying to make decisions that were bad. They were morally opaque. They
mm-hmm.
were, whatever it may have been, to benefit the company's overall or overhead rather than, finding who the murderer was, whatever it may have been.
Right.
He was thinking about his stockholders, which we deal with that all the time. As an issue in our nation, that is a problem. They make it a problem, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But the part that kind of then disconnects and, the future, but it really isn't that far in the future, it's just so funny that like technology just really feels like it can't get there. Like, I know that there's a fear for AI, and I think AI will be bad one day, but I don't think AI is bad one day because of AI. Like, I don't think it's going to get sentient and then, abuse or disregard the 3 laws that don't actually exist in this world. I think AI is going to get bad because it's just going to do things faster than a human can, but by a human prompt. Like, I think people are going to abuse AI.
Yeah. And
it just feels stupid.
Yeah. There's
like
also
it feels like this is an allegory for where we are at right now, but then it's also like when you look at where we're at right now, you're like, our timeline is dumb.
Yeah.
Ours is not as interesting as, I don't know, the robot apocalypse. Anyway, political rant over. Maybe. Elon Musk can eat a shoe. I don't care. He sucks. So, visuals have their moments. There are some moments where the visuals are really good. I think Sunny, for the most part, is great.
Yeah.
They really locked him in. The NS5s have their moments. There's some moments where they really fit into the surroundings with the live action people really well, and then there's sometimes where it just doesn't.
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
very
work.
noticeable. Yeah.
So this movie, I think, kind of gets like a 6 out of 10 as far as CGI and how it's aged. There's stuff there that's good, but a lot of it falls short nowadays. It's very noticeable. I'm sure back in the day it was like, this is crazy. This is impossible. They never would have been able to do this. And now you're looking at it and like, this kind of looks like a CW show.
It's kind of like looking at video games back in the day where you're like, when they came out, you're like, whoa. And then you go look at them now and you're like, wow, the original Halo looks horrible.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm going to be very controversial. Whenever people are like, man, video games look so realistic, I'm always like, no, they don't. I still don't think, like, there's an uncanny valley for video games where I look at their skin and I go, nope, that's fake. It's fake as can be. And I know it's a video game, and that's fine. That's fine. Even the cutscenes. I've still yet to have a cutscene where I'm like, that looks really freaking good.
I mean, there are some impressive cutscenes for sure.
Yeah.
But those cutscenes typically aren't the same as what
The
you're
actual
seeing in the
video
video
game,
game.
Anyway, that's a side tangent. Okay. So, visuals. What'd you think of the music? Did the music do anything for you? One day I'm going to learn how to ask questions that don't feel like I'm badgering you.
It didn't really stand out in any way. It wasn't necessarily bad. It wasn't necessarily good. I think it was like, I don't know. It was not something that I paid much attention to, which is probably okay.
This is my day of controversy, because I'm going to give a controversy point.
All right.
And stay with me, because this is going to feel like I'm saying something right out of right field.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean. I think a lot of people really like that soundtrack. I personally think that soundtrack kind of sucks. Because every song is just a variation of the same idea.
Of the same theme, yeah.
It's either slowed down, sped up, twisted slightly. There's no difference. I bring up John Williams because I freaking love John Williams. Even though he does repeat himself a lot, he does it in a way that is very sneaky. But the main Star Wars theme is very different from the Princess Leia theme, which is very different from the Darth Vader theme, which is very different from the Rebel theme. All of those are different themes.
Right.
And they're clearly different. Pirates of the Caribbean kind of feels like the same the same picture, just painted different colors.
Mm-hmm.
This movie had that vibe.
Yeah,
where
it
the
just kinda felt
music
like the
was
same
just
thing
kind of the
throughout.
same thing,
Mm-hmm.
altered slightly. And I swear to God, I heard dun 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 dun, which is why I brought up Pirates of the Caribbean, because there were moments where I was listening to it, I'm like, is this Pirates of the Caribbean? Which, in its defense, Pirates of the Caribbean came out in what, 2003?
2003.
So it was the year before. It was a hit. It was an absolute monster of a movie. And there was like 4 or 5 years where people were like, well, if we want to make an action theme, we just do Pirates of the Caribbean, like dun, 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 and that's all they would do. And this movie had so much of that.
Yeah, no, that's true. Cause I mean, there was the era of the, we just watched it a couple weeks ago. Oh, wow. Why is my brain
Wizard
Inception.
Inception.
Inception,
Hans Zimmer,
that kind of thing happened, still kind of happening, but I think we're getting out of that now. But yeah, there's like big movies will happen, and then after that they'll be like, that's the sound that we want, because that's the sound that is resonating with people.
Yeah.
I don't think that your comment is horribly controversial. I would say that that's especially true for the first movie. I would say that they did start experimenting with the sequels with the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
And those are the soundtracks that I think I like more.
Yeah.
Because they introduced those other things. But that's not what we're talking about. But I did want to say it.
No, that's fine. I was going to double check. This guy did not do... he did not do... the movie we talked about, Pirates of the Caribbean. Wow. I feel like I just have mini strokes. He did do the Wolverine, which I did like the Wolverine, and I think I remember the music being kind of good. He did the music for Logan, and the music did a lot of work in that movie. It was very emotional, but the acting was Hugh Jackman. Great, did a lot of great stuff there, but like the music really did help him along.
Wait, this is the guy that did Pirates of the Caribbean.
It is?
Yeah, Klaus?
No.
He did the first one.
No, that's not who it is. This is
who are you looking at?
Beltrami.
Oh, I was on the wrong IMDb. I was like, I'm looking at it right here.
No, Marco Beltrami, the most Italian sounding New York last name. Hey, Marco, how you doing, buddy?
Marco, okay, there we go. I'm on the right page now.
Yeah. He did. I'm going off of a lot of the newer stuff. Let's look at the older ones. He did Scream 2, The Faculty.
You know what? This could have been a movie.
Scream 3.
Because this happens a lot, that people, when they do their like early run, like they do their early cuts and they're like, hey, this is the music style that we want to do.
Right.
And so they will actually grab music from
other movies
and just throw it in there and be like, this is the feel that we want to have.
You know what? That does make sense.
And then they'll get attached to it. And so instead of letting the composer have the freedom to create whatever they want,
right,
they're like, that's the sound that we want. Make that. And then that's why you get a lot of movies that have this same sound over and over again, is because of like, yeah, just remake the thing that we put in there because we like that.
Yeah. Hey, a little how the sausage is made. Our theme song. I originally sent it in as like an audition tape or something for a pilot, and they said for the theme they wanted it to be a mix between The Office and How I Met Your Mother. Now listen to this freaking theme and tell me it is not both of those.
Oh yeah. totally is.
Welcome to review. Anyway, but I totally get that of the movie has given them parameters and they kind of get stuck with, oh, I should just do that.
Mm-hmm.
That may be interpolation, which is just a word of saying like it's kind of based off of it. But some of this sounded exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering how much Klaus could have actually, or Disney, I guess at that point, actually have copyrighted, because it is copyright, not like RITH, not write as in writing a paper. Copyrighted the music to the point where, because bum 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 bum, that's a very common musical thing. I don't know how you could possibly copyright that to the point where you would have to do it exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Same key, same instrumentation, same everything. But if you just went bum 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 bum, it's the same freaking thing, but it's different enough that I don't think they could have locked it in. And there were definitely parts in this movie that it was just that. And I'm like, is this the same guy? So, music, it was fine. It wasn't awful. It was fine. All right. Characters. Acting was okay. I think Alan Tudyk was the acting star of the movie.
The standout.
Will just played Will Smith. My friend Will. Will Smith just played Will Smith characters. I think I texted you somewhere there, and I said, "Does he just play characters that can't talk to women normally?"
Yeah.
So it was fine. It was Will Smith playing Will Smith. Bridget, I was looking at her IMDb. She really doesn't have that many credits. I think she'd recently done more shows and stuff, but I don't know what her range is. She played that scientific character really well. She expressed the science stuff in a way that felt as though she did know it.
Yeah.
Like it was believable. It didn't feel fake.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. Yeah. Sometimes I think they cast, and this is my own bias, whatever, but it feels like sometimes they cast certain people because they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you hear them trying to deliver whatever the line they're supposed to be delivering, you're like, I don't believe that at all.
Yeah.
But she had both of them. She could be believably very smart, and she was pretty. So it she met her. I say that because that's exactly why they hired her. They didn't hire her because she sounded smart. They hired her because she was pretty. I hate that. It's so stupid, but she did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
I think the only quote that I think made me laugh and still made me laugh after all this time was when they're on the streets when the robots are fighting the humans and stuff, and he gives Calvin the gun, and so he's saving Shia LaBeouf's character, and then he's like, "Spoon, look out!" and the robot grabs him, and then the gun goes off, and they look over, and she's like firing at it, and then Shia LaBeouf points, she's like, "She shot at you with her eyes closed."
Did you shoot at me with your? Did you shoot at me with your eyes closed? It worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's not a particularly funny line. I just thought it was a good line. But when Spooner's talking to Sonny for the first time, and he's like, "Human beings have dreams, even dogs have dreams, but not you. You're just a machine, an imitation of life. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?" And then Sonny goes, "Can you?"
Mm.
And he wasn't being sassy. He was just like genuinely like, you can do that?
Mm-hmm.
And I also, that moment was hard for me because I was like, Spooner, you're supposed to be a detective. And this line of like questioning and you're setting yourself up.
Yeah.
Because you can't do those things. That's not a good argument.
Mm-hmm.
You're bad at your job, man.
You say things like, humans dream, dogs can dream, but you can't. Can you fall in love? Can you feel heartbreak? Like, you say those types of things, which is something that everybody can feel. And
speaking of love, he keeps talking about his ex-wife. Who cares? Who cares? There's no implication. Granny
did she
says,
die from
like, why
accident?
did they get divorced? Maybe his anger could have been that he was so distraught from this accident that it helped destroy his marriage. And that's why he holds this guilt and anger toward the robots. Because not only did he watch this child die, he lost his marriage. Like, they could have built so much. It was just they kept adding things, but there was no payoff for so much of it.
Yeah.
That's going to feel like I cut it because I did it very abruptly, but I didn't. I just stopped talking and pushed it. We're just getting so good at this, you know? Anyway, now it's time for the review rewind, where we take a positive review and a negative review and we see where we fall. Metacritic gave this a 59%. Rotten Tomato, a 57%. Rotten Tomato audience gave it a 70%. And IMDb audience gave it a 7.1. So, Tristan.
Hi.
Can you read our positive review from the Washingtonian Post?
The Washington Post gave it a 90. Fabulous mental escape. It's fun and playful rather than dark and foreboding. And there doesn't seem to be an original cyber bone in the movie's body, but it's put together in a fabulous package. Huh?
What?
That sounds like a bad thing in the middle there.
It's a dig. It is a dig. That is absolutely what it is. There doesn't seem to be
an original cyber bone in the movie's body, but it's put together in a fabulous package. So that sentence right there is why it didn't get 100.
I mean, I guess that works. It feels a little backhanded. Yeah. 90 feels really big for
what is said here.
Yeah.
I think if it just said fabulous mental escape, it's playful and fun rather than dark and foreboding, and it's put together in a fabulous package. Great.
You would have been like, sure, great, that's great, 90.
Exactly. But the dig,
it makes it feel like they begrudgingly gave it a 90.
Super unoriginal.
Yeah. All right. This was not the lowest score, but it was the longest review I could find, and it felt nice to pick something kind of local from the LA Times. More disturbing, yet another robot, or maybe two, seems to have written a Hollywood script and hijacked a major studio production. Given the film's assembly line screenplay and a mechanics or machinistic storytelling, no other explanation seems viable. Certainly, no one with a heartbeat or taste would blow so much talent, time, and resources on such rubbishy writing. I hate when writers do that. I hate it. I hate when writers do that. When they go through all of this, like, clear thesaurus-seeking paragraph to then end it with a word that a child would say.
Yeah, just put rubbish writing.
Yeah. Rubbish writing. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I feel like this review could be written about movies today where we're in fear of AI literally writing our movies.
Right. This review is funny because thinking back to 2004 is like, there was no technology that could have done that.
There was no robots. What are you talking about?
Alrighty. What do you give it?
Is it a D?
I think it's a D.
I think it's a D.
I think it's a D. I was even going to be a little meaner, but there is a bit of it that feels still entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm probably not going to watch this movie again.
No.
It's not. It has its problems.
Mm-hmm.
If you like Will Smith, if you like a movie that does meddle with the concept of futurism, technology, the moral implications of AI, it's worth a watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth a ponder. If you're looking for a really good sci-fi movie, not going to find it.
Mm-mm.
Not going to find it here. The action is limp. The story is more perplexing than the concept of robotic consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Will Smith has a couple good lines. He's kind of cringe.
Yeah.
Maybe you're fine. Don't watch it. It's a D. It's bad. It's not good. I give it credit for what it was at its time. For today's mind, for a person in 2025, 10 years from when this movie was based in, it's not worth it.
No.
Also, the idea that like Converse would be obsolete in 30 years is bonkers.
Yeah.
It's absolutely bonkers.
They're having a renaissance right now.
Well, here's the thing that these futuristic movies always miss for me, because they don't go far enough.
Right.
If you took someone from 600 years ago and brought them to today, today's technology would be awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
If you take someone from the movie was made in 2004, so 1995, 30 years ago, there's some things they would have been like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
But they would have also been like, it's kind of intuitive.
Yeah.
We had enough technology to have figured, if you brought someone from that time, they could have figured stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make a giant leap in time to make any of this believable. If they said that this was 2230, then you're kind of at a point where you're like, oh, okay, that's believable.
It's interesting to me how many people in the 1900s wrote books about the early 2000s. And we're like, this is the distant future where things are going to be crazy.
Which is weird because they had history still.
Yeah.
They weren't away from history.
Yeah. But
the Converse conversation is silly to me because we were teenagers in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
People were wearing Converse all the time.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with that. The shoes were already 50 years old. And they were still doing great.
Right.
So the idea that an extra 30 years would suddenly plummet the company and then make them this thing of the past that he had to special order or something like that, find at a vintage store or whatever it was, is so stupid. If he would have said, vintage 1952, you almost have this thing of like, oh, wow, okay, that's like 80 years. Oh, wow, that's interesting. But to be like vintage 2004, it's like, yeah, vintage, 30 years is a long time, whatever. But they've been going strong. I'm 30. How old am I? I'm in my late 30s now. I have been wearing Vans shoes for over 25 years. And I still wear them. So the idea that these shoes would just magically disappear, there's so much that's just dumb. The CD thing, that was kind of true. But I think physical media is going to have a new boom. So this idea of the future, I think for a writer to do a really good job, has to really push it out. Because when you start writing in the near future, it's going to fail.
It makes me wonder if the original book takes place in
2035.
And they're like, oh yeah, let's keep that element. But it would have made sense if this movie was made in the 80s and they were like 2035. But
it just says in the 21st century.
Yeah. So it's weird that they chose to.
Heck, if they would have just done it and said like, hey, 2090, almost 100 years in the future, maybe some of that makes more sense. But the idea that we would just build that kind of infrastructure in 30 years is wild.
Make it a time period that is like a lifetime from now, because that's believable.
Right.
But doing it where it's like, no, I would just be a little bit older. And
yeah. I also think reading this, the film I, Robot starring Will Smith was released by 20s, Its plot uses elements of Little Lost Robot, a few of Asimov's character names, and 3 Laws. The plot of the movie is original, so they just kind of used some of Asimov's basics, but not really basing it off of the short story.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the plot of it, but it's not actually coming up. Short story plot, because now I'm just curious. Okay, there are 9 stories by framing narrative of reporters interviewing with Susan Calvin, a former robopsychologist at U.S. Robots and Mechanical Men, Inc., whose work involved dysfunctional robots and the problem inherent in human-robot interaction. The stories center on the problems arise from the ethical programming summed up in Asimov's 3 Laws. But iRobot needed more of the dysfunctional robots. Here you go. The first story, Robbie, is set in 1998.
1998.
There you go.
Robbie.
The next story, Liar, takes place in 2021. Little Robot takes place in 2029. The final 2 stories are 2032 and 2052, respectively. Yeah, there you go. Well, anyway, this movie kind of sucks. Alan Tudyk's great.
Yeah, he gets an A+ from me.
He gets an A+, but he always gets an A+. He's just such a charmer. And Tristan,
hey,
you're a charmer too.
Aw, shucks.
You know what, audience? I don't know you, but you're a charmer too. And if you would do us a favor of subscribing, liking our content, and maybe giving us a good review. Even if you didn't like it, just give us a good review. We'd appreciate it. And
hey, if you give us 5 stars and put a negative backhanded comment, that's fine.
That's fine. That works for us. Until next time. Oh, wait, no. I don't have it written down. Review those rewinds and we'll see you next time. God.